Hello everybody, this is Zoe from No Safer Place, and today I'm going to be talking about a video that you guys have been requesting. I've had a new therapist for about a month now. I've only been speaking to her over the phone previously, and it was our first CBT assessment session today. So before they decided that CBT was the right treatment for me, and after the initial phone call assessment, I was called in much quicker than she told me it would be, which was amazing. I expected to wait 2 months, and since the initial phone call assessment, but within a week or two she had called me and said that she had an available spot for me. So that was definitely really lucky on that side of things for me, because I know that there are a lot of people that have been waiting far longer than that. So when I typed in on Google what to expect from a CBT assessment session, there wasn't really that much detail. So it kind of said, oh, you'll be discussing this and this and this, but it just felt very vague. And as someone who suffers with severe anxiety and likes to know things step by step and everything that comes with a situation, I really would have liked a video like this to watch myself, just to kind of calm my nerves. So I thought I'd make one for you guys. You all requested it when I said that I was possibly thinking about doing this video. As I say, my appointment was at 2 o'clock and it is now 4:45 because I didn't want to forget anything, so I just got home straight away and did this video. I did get there at about 20 to 2. I wanted to get there early just to make sure that I knew where it was and I could be more comfortable with the surrounding. I got seen at 10 to 2 and I didn't come out until 10 to 3. When it said it was an hour, I didn't think it would be 60 minutes. I honestly thought it would be much less, because I didn't feel like I had that much to talk about. But I was in there the whole hour and she was absolutely lovely. One of my biggest fears was going in and not liking her. I am very fussy with people. I don't really take to people very quickly unless they're a special kind of person, so I was really nervous about it. She welcomed me in, she was lovely, we sat down. The first kind of thing she said, which put me at ease instantly, is she knew that I had POTS. If you don't know what POTS is, I'll leave it in the description below on my video talking all about it, because I will be discussing it a bit in this video. She had the POTS UK home screen on her computer, and straight away I kind of felt like someone was trying to understand me and making an effort, which, if you're suffering with anxiety, is a massive thing. And she said that she had been researching all about it, she hadn't heard of it before, and she wanted me to feel as relaxed and understood as possible, which I thought was such a lovely thing. We kind of went through the steps of living with it. She said that she wanted to get a better understanding of the chronic illness that I live with, the effects it has on me, if those things are affecting my anxiety. So what I'm saying is, if you're suffering with a chronic illness or any kind of illness or anything like that on top of your anxiety or depression, just having someone trying to understand that as well as your mental health is just really reassuring, and it made me take a liking to her straight away. So after we'd discussed living with POTS, she then asked me why I was there and what kind of goals I had. Now this was just a broad sense of what I wanted to achieve, and the main things that I wanted to achieve was leaving the house on my own, because if you guys don't know, I do not leave the house on my own anymore. Unless I'm with someone, I will not leave the house. And getting public transport on my own, because I don't drive and obviously I don't leave the house. Getting public transport, just being able to go to places by myself, would make a massive difference to my life. So those were the things that I asked when she spoke about goals. She then gave me a reading list and said if I could get any of these books at the library or second hand. Not all of them applied to me, but there was about 15 books on there that I took a picture of. If you want to know, just let me know and I'll post them on a blog post or something, just because there were quite a few. So if any of you want to find them, just let me know and I'll create the blog post. So after we went through that reading list, she then kind of explained CBT to me, and I knew that it was coping mechanisms rather than just talking, but she gave me this example and it kind of made me understand CBT instantly. So she explained it as, when you walk down the street and you see a dog, and your thought might be, that dog's gonna bite me. Now your body instantly feels like it's going to be attacked, so the fight or flight response takes action. And usually, which is what a lot of people with anxiety will do, will be to avoid that situation. So if you see that dog come in and you're scared it's going to bite you, the fight or flight response takes place and you will avoid it. So you will cross the road, you will walk away, you will get as far away from that dog as possible. Now, what CBT focuses on is changing that thought process. So when you see that dog, you think, it's gonna bite me, and then you think, what is the likelihood of that happening? And then you think of the reasons why it's not likely to happen. So the dog is on a lead. The dog has an owner that you can say, oh, I'm a bit nervous of dogs too. You can watch the dog to check that it's not coming nearer you. There are so many things that you can do rather than avoid that situation. So you tell your thoughts all of these things at why this situation isn't likely to happen, and rather than avoid it, you carry on walking that way and you face that situation anyway. Obviously, it's a lot more complex than that, but putting it in those simple terms and challenging your thoughts rather than just listening to them is kind of how I get CBT works. So after she'd been through what CBT is and if I thought it would work for me, which honestly I think it will, I think it is definitely worth a try. We then spoke very briefly about what is happening in my life at the moment. Now, that isn't talking about why you're upset or anything like that, just talking about things like where you're working, who you live with, who you're close to, those kinds of things. Nothing that's extremely personal, and you don't need to share more than you're comfortable with. She definitely made me feel relaxed in that she wasn't pushy at all. She wasn't trying to get all information from me at once. It was just very, you tell me when you're ready, as much as you feel comfortable sharing. And then we set SMART targets for myself. Now, I'm really quite anxious to share these with you because I don't think anyone knows how bad my anxiety is. I seem very confident on camera because it's something that I'm so used to, putting up this front and being this Zoe personality, which, yes, I'm like in real life if you know me, but it takes me a long time to get to this point. So I'm really quite anxious to share them because they are very, very simple targets to probably most of the people watching this video, but here we go. The first one is walking from the car to the Cbt office on my own. Doesn't sound like a big thing at all, but that is the first thing. And because obviously I don't leave the house on my own, my godmum drove me there. She walked me up to the door, she buzzed the buzzer for me and literally ushered me in before I was left on my own. So my first target is to walk from the car park to the place on my own, which is literally maybe a 60-second walk, if that. And then it's slowly building up to bigger and better things. So the next one is walking to the end of the street on my own. The one after that is walking to the shop and back with a bag of shopping on my own. The one after that is walking to the train station and back on my own. And then the one after that is getting the train on my own to my wellbeing centre, which is only 2 stops away. It is literally 6 minutes on the train, and that is my end goal for now. And I know that these seem like such small targets, but little things like this would make a massive difference in my life. So what I'm saying is, these targets, there is absolutely no pressure on what they are. It can literally be something as small as a 60-second walk from a car to a door. And she didn't make me feel stupid or silly or anything like that. She just said, that's fine, that's what we're going to aim to do and we're going to get you there, and I loved that. And then the last thing we spoke about was thought diaries. She wants to kind of find out what my triggers are and things that I'm feeling anxious about, physical sensations, everything like that. So what I'm going to show you is the thought diary template that she gave me and explain it from there. This is what it looks like. It has a situation column there, so where you are and kind of why it's happening. Your emotion and mood here, so how you're feeling, and from 0 to 100 how bad the anxiety is. Then the physical sensations, how your body's reacting to it here. And then the thoughts and images that you're experiencing here. And then these 2 bits are what CBT focuses on and things that she will discuss with me. So on that sheet, I have to write down all of the things in the next week before my next session that I feel anxious about, anything big or small. And she said try and take 30 minutes a day to write all those down and make sure it's as accurate as possible. She said she would much rather have too much information than too little. So I know that I'm going to get seriously carried away with that, but she did say it was better to be like that than not at all. Also, she kind of tried to relate to me. She asked what my job was, and I said that I ran a YA book subscription box, and she told me that she goes to a book club and they've just read a YA book. She was really trying to connect with me, which I thought was really lovely of her. Obviously, I don't know if all CBT therapists are like that, but she was, and I was so grateful for it. So I feel like that's everything we discussed. As I say, I was in there for an hour, so some of these conversations were quite lengthy. And although she was writing notes, it didn't feel like that's what she was focused on, because I found that with counsellors before, all they seem to do is be jotting down notes like this, so you don't feel like you have any kind of eye contact or interaction, which I always kind of struggled with, because I like to gauge people's reactions before I open up to them. So I definitely think CBT is a better route for me. As I say, I've tried counselling a few times now and I just don't think it's right for me, so it's time to try something new. This was the Cbt assessment. I have my first proper session next Tuesday, so this may just be an extra video that goes up for the next week. So if you guys want to see more about what happens in the first session and kind of my Cbt journey, just let me know, because as you guys know, I love talking more about mental health. If you have any other questions about the session or anything about Cbt in general, just ask away in the comments below and I will get back to you. I hope you all have enjoyed this video. Let me know what you would like to see more of on my channel, and I hope to see you all again soon. Thank you. Bye.